Hello, welcome to my new greenhouse. I only got this greenhouse this year and it's only been up a few months, but I've managed to get some tomatoes growing in it in these 10-inch water buckets. Welcome to my greenhouse, welcome to Blossom End Rot. Hey, look at that, Blossom End Rot. What's to be done? Well, what do you do when you're presented with a problem that you've never had before? Do you Google it? I do. Do you look on YouTube? I do. And I think I may have the solution for this blossom end rot. And what I'm actually hoping is that these tomatoes that were taken from the bottom trusses, although they're wasted, perhaps the ones further up the plant and those that are only flowers at the moment, perhaps we can prevent those getting blossom end rot. So I'm going to do what a lot of gardeners are doing on YouTube, and I'm going to treat the soil in the pots to a dressing of lime, and that lime is going to introduce some calcium into the pots, and apparently this blossom end rot is because there's a calcium deficiency. So we're going to try and correct that. I'll do that in a minute, but let me just show you these while we're talking about soil additives. Let me just show you this. This is a plastic sweet jar. Okay, I've been using it to store onion fertilizer, but as you can see, it's completely empty. I've used the last of the fertilizer, and that's okay because everything I'm planting is now planted. So I'll fill this up again next year. So it's plastic sweet jar. Hey, another one, plastic sweet jar. Grow more. There's no more grow more left in this jar. We'll fill that up again next year. What we got here? Blood, fish and bone. There's none of that left. And the reason I'm showing you these is to tell you that there's a great opportunity to recycle these plastic sweet jars as fertilizer containers. But what you must do is you must mark them up and keep them out of the reach of children, obviously. Mark them up. And what I suggest you do is, if you've got a local sweet shop, the way this normally works is, when the plastic jar's empty, the proprietor goes to his local wholesaler and buys another jar to replace this one. So this one is going to the plastic recycler, and that's week on week on week on week. Go to your local sweet shop, ask the person behind the counter, do they have any empty plastic sweet jars, and can you have them? They'll give you them. It saves them a trip to the recycler. Okay, that's the recycling bit. Now fortunately, this jar isn't empty. This jar has got some garden lime in it. Okay, I use this to dust the beds when I'm growing brassicas. So what we're going to do is, we're going to add some garden lime to the soil in the buckets of these tomatoes. Now what I've seen other YouTubers do is mix this, make it into a slurry with water and water it on. But I'm simply going to sprinkle some on top, which I've already done, and just water it in. And hope that that works, hope that that prevents any more blossom end rot. And if we keep an eye on this tomato plant, the one that's had the blossom end rot, and the others, if it gives me some healthy tomatoes at the top of the plant later on in the season, then this has worked, hasn't it? This has stopped blossom end rot in its tracks. Okay, let me just move the camera around. I'll show you the plant that we're talking about, the one that's had the blossom end rot, and we'll water some of this lime in. Okay, this is the lime that I've taken out of the sweet jar. I've already sprinkled some on the top of this, the soil in this pot. Okay, and I'm now going to water it in. And while I do that, I've got to tell you, it's a lovely day here at Homegrown Veg. Molly's out in the garden, and from where I'm sitting, I think I can see she's lying under the washing line. Half in the shade, half out of the shade, half in the sun, half out of the sun, and there's a wee bit of wind blowing, so that'll keep her cool. I'll swing the camera around and I'll try and get a wee bit of footage of Molly in the garden. There you go, can you see it watering in? I hope you can. And that's what we'll do. We'll just water some lime in, and it either works or it doesn't work. And hopefully we'll find that out by the end of the season, because up top there are more tomatoes growing. There are flowers at the top of this plant. They can't have blossom end rot yet. They're not a tomato, are they? They're just a flower. Once they produce a tomato, the hope is that they don't produce tomatoes that get blossom end rot. If we have a look at these ones, you can see these tomatoes seem to be okay, although that one has got some blossom end rot, but that one hasn't. Why that is, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And that one looks clear of blossom end rot. But certainly the three I showed you earlier that came from this plant, they've definitely got blossom end rot. So I think what we're doing with respect to this lime can only improve the situation. Hey, fingers crossed. We'll have a look at this plant in a month or two's time and see what's happening. Okay, so I'll finish the video with some footage of Molly. And yeah, this is Homegrown Veg, signing out.